Well, I got another TwoSun milk cow. Hell yeah. Now, I do have to say a couple of these guys. They weren't knives, but these two guys actually came over the weekend, but it was negative degrees outside. I figured they'd just stay there for a bit. But yeah, today, Tuesday, I got more stuff, and it's pretty fantastic. I forgot. I have one more here. That's another little tiny fixed blade. All right. So yeah, first of all, we got a Pioneer EDC pen. This one's been anodized. It's got gold on the flats, and then they did the full 120 or 125 volts to get green kind of going on there in the center, and then they basically sanded that off and then re-added the gold, which is a much lower voltage. But yeah, it continues on into the knurling there by the tip. Super comfortable. It still does have the carbide tip there, but it's pretty cool. Certainly happy to have that in and of my pen collection. It's kind of interesting with the different anodization colors going on the inside of the cap there. Yeah, it's got nice O-rings on it, so you know, pretty darn waterproof. Next thing is this guy, flashlight. This is the NightMorning Design giant flashlight. This one also takes an 18650. It's supposedly also 350 lumens. I have stuffed one of my 18650s in there, and it works pretty good. You got, yep, the standard chip in there, so one push, full brightness. And then if you turn it off and back on rather quickly, then you get half brightness, and then you get the flash. It's pretty normal for them, and basically almost any other flashlight manufacturer. So yeah, these end caps are full copper. Hell yeah. Here's my epic battery that I picked up a little while ago. It's nice that it actually has its own optional USB charger. And these things work pretty well for a flashlight. I don't think they're uber high current, but neither are LED flashlights. So yeah, and then the front assembly will come off as well. It's got obviously the O-ring there. Nice full copper construction going on there. And that's where they hide the recharge spot for it. So yeah, this guy has a significant weight to him because, I mean, well, you got titanium in the center, which is pretty cool, but yeah, copper isn't exactly light either. So super nice and substantial. Love that thing. All right, how about if we go on to a couple of folders? This one isn't anything new. This is the Ts84 Orca in G10. It's using their black and white milling pattern that I've liked on quite a few others, like the TS-16. Flippers, Kerchunk, gigantic knife from Mazwan Mohktar. D2, because, yep, it's an older one. It's the 82. And, you know, I thought it would be a little bit too broad here, and, well, it's really not. And you have plenty of room to actually choke up there without, you know, worrying that you're going to hit right up on that blade. So that's pretty cool. It does have their old school clip on it. Not a super huge fan, but because the handle's super huge on it, it does disappear and doesn't bother me quite as much as it does on some others. So there you go. And then this one is pretty sweet. This, if I remember right, this is the 237. It's a super cool titanium flipper. And it's a collaboration between Wong and I don't remember who the MS insignia is there for. Sorry if you can hear a whole bunch of clambering upstairs. It's about time for the dogs to eat, so they're getting super excited. I don't generally feed them, so you know, don't worry about me depriving the mutts. But yeah, this guy is you know, it's a back flipper, but it's also a front flipper. It doesn't have the jimping up there, but hey, you don't really need it. It works pretty darn good as is. And, yep, haven't really taken any of these guys apart yet or anything. It does have kind of the interesting issue of you have to, if you are going to use the back flipper on it, you use kind of the full stroke light switch kind of way about it, because otherwise that guy will kind of come up and meet your finger. It's not super painful, and it generally doesn't prevent the knife from being deployed, but it can happen. So yeah, this is definitely a light switch, not a push button. But yeah, the ergonomics on this thing, like, yeah, they are fairly neutral, but you got a swell on the back there. Just amazingly comfortable. I do like the fuller going on there. And yeah, what is kind of interesting that I did notice, I mean, once I finally get around to actually reviewing this guy, I'll probably get into it. But this carbon fiber scale, which is only on one side, if you can see in there, well, maybe I will blast the ever-loving crap out of it. Hey, there we go. Yeah, you can see they use that to their advantage for skeletonization, which is cool. And then they got a couple of notches taken out of the other side. So this one is super, super cool. Love it. A lot of fun to play with. All right, some fixed blades. This first one is an itty bitty little guy from Mazwan Mohktar. It's a 14C28N, and as you can see, it's almost a 2-inch or a 2-finger knife. it's just a very, very itty bitty tiny little cleaver with some satin grinds on there. Fairly thick on the back edge there. Something to note: this guy doesn't come with a sheath at all. It came with basically this rubber guard thing on here, so it really is designed to hang up somewhere on a peg or something like that. Kind of interesting though. I believe this is a G10 for the handles. It's very rough and textured, so you know, it will do a pretty darn good job. And obviously T8 hardware if you want to remove that and, you know, make your own handle scales or whatnot. All right, the next one, this is a 2 something or other. This is, yeah, another little fixed blade. Oh, yeah. I guess to kind of give you an idea of this little guy, it's basically, it's less than 1.5 inches. I mean, it's, yeah, like 1.25 inches of sharpened blade length on it. Super, super tiny. This guy's a little bit larger. This one's 2.5 inch. And it's got their standard brown micarta on there. Something I did notice on this guy is this particular side here is a little sharp, so I can easily knock that down to kind of match the other side there. But yeah, it's got that traditional swell in the middle of it, and yeah, you can take that off. You can put a little lanyard loop on there. This guy has a 3-finger knife, and a very, very comfortable 3-finger too. Yeah, it's fairly thick there, and M30 or M390, not M30. And this guy comes with a I don't know. I always want to call them Kydex, but I do believe that's a name brand, kind of like Kleenex or anything like that. But yeah, you know, hard leather sheath, locks in there, super nice. You got a little part for your thumb to kick off there. Super cool. And then one of the other ones that I got here that I was really impressed with is this guy right here. This is another one of their fixed blades. This is one of the variants. This has the bone handle. They also have a version in, oh, what do they call that? Snakewood handles. But I got the ability to buy this one for a decent price, and so I did. And I am really, really happy that I did get the bone one. This was, I'm not a super huge fixed blade guy, but wow, I fucking love this thing. The bone, super, super nice and finished. That's actually, yeah, a little bit of the leather sheath on the inside, the little rub there. But yeah, you got your standard undyed bone there for the handles. You have copper liners, which is super cool. And then the blade, as you can see, basically on the flat here and then around, it's stone washed around, which, you know, I do like that look, so I would kind of prefer it there, but as well, but you know, whatever. And man, this thing just locks straight up into your hand and feels amazingly comfortable. Like everything is smoothed over. They did a really fantastic job on the fit and finish here. This is kind of a larger knife, so they didn't really particularly want to go into do an M390, so it's 14C28N, which still works out pretty well for me. Doesn't bother me one bit. And yeah, you got a little bit of jimping there, and you can sneak up rather easily if you really want to get even closer in there, if you're really trying to work something super close to you, and you get that little bit of feeling there. Now, this guy has an insignia on here, like a maker's brand, and I'm not familiar with it. And it wasn't actually listed on the eBay listing, so I'll have to do a little bit of work kind of figuring out who actually designed this. I thought it was a TwoSun in-house design, and maybe that's what that means. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, I'll certainly look into it. But either way, it's a fantastic design. Yeah, just under 4 inches there. You got a decent amount of belly on it. You know, obviously not a super stabby knife, but very utilitarian. And the sheath is pretty darn good and high quality. It's only got single layer stitching on there, so you know, I'm not 1,000% sure exactly how the durability of that's going to be over time, but it does look super nice. You got that as the belt loop there, so you don't really have a scout carry style that you can do with this particular sheath, but that's fine. And yeah, you do have a little bit there in the end. I do believe that is intentional as kind of a drain hole, or you know, something to help with moisture if you do something weird like put the knife away wet or something like that. But yeah, I am really impressed with this guy. Super awesome. But yeah, that's what I got in the mail today, which was a super exciting day. It's obviously not my largest allotment that I've gotten, but it's certainly varied and interesting. I still have a few, 4 in particular, that are still slowly trickling their way here. A lot of those I had purchased or won auctions before Christmas on, and they've just kind of come into San Francisco and just kind of sat there for a little bit, I think. So it's, you know, basically whenever Customs decides they're going to clear those, then I will get those in. And good news, if you guys aren't aware, they started putting knives back up for auction because, well, the Lunar New Year has, and celebrations that go on in China have subsided, so everybody's back to work. So, hey, cool. All right, well, that's all I really got for you. Just wanted to show off a lot of the goodies that I got today. Yeah. All right, well, as always, I appreciate y'all for watching. Have yourself a wonderful rest of your day, yo. And subscribe.